Hi there. Tonight I'm going to give you another little video of the progress that I've made on the engraving ring for the cross slide on the TAG cross slide zeroing ring index. I've got it broken down at the moment, and as you can see, let's see, what have we got here? Okay, a pen. I have the fixed, the screwed in section with the ball bearing in the top slide, in the cross slide, and I've removed the screws that hold the bearing in and put a little drop of Loctite in there to eliminate having the screws, the button head screws sticking out. That enables me to bring the ring, index ring, right up to this face, or just maybe a thou or two clear of this face when everything's put together. Okay, this part here is an extension that I've added to the original shaft of the lead screw to make it longer because of this modification. It's much too long at the moment, so I've got it threaded at the end here for a 256 screw, which is what I'm going to use to lock the handle on and lock everything up. Okay, and so I'll show you the ring, the finished ring. Let's come around here. Okay, I hope you can see it there. That's the finished engraved ring. And that slides onto a round block, which is going to be drilled and tapped, and that will be clamped onto this extension of the shaft. The threaded hole in the shaft was not very true to the center, so I got a little bit of a ridge there, so I had to machine this down slightly smaller than the original size of the shaft, the lead screw. This is a block that slides on, well, it should do, yeah, there we go, and that pushes up, and this small excess part here will allow this block to press up against the bearing. Oh, hang on, not much room here. Okay, and that pushes up against the ball bearing. That's good. Now, once that's on, there'll be a tapped hole in there that will go down and clamp onto the shaft and lock this onto the shaft. This index ring then slides on and is just a nice revolving movement. Now, if you looked at the drawing that I showed in a previous video, you'll see that this has to be able to move and then to lock at 0 or wherever you want to set it. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill a hole in this face in to about that depth, and then I'm going to drill a hole on the outside down and connect with that hole going horizontally. Then I'll open out the surface to a larger size, and also do the same here in the hole at this face, and that will take a little Delrin pad that will be machined up, a small Delrin pad at this end, and a metal pad going in here. And the idea is that when it's all assembled, and I have a back plate that is going to go onto this block here and contain this sleeve, this index ring, so that it's a nice fit, but not pressed up against there. There'll be a bit of clearance. This ring will be just maybe a thou or two in width, less in width than this block, and that will allow it to turn. And then I'll put a back plate on here, and then eventually the ball handle, the ball handle will go, it will be spaced away a little bit, and it will fit there. And the idea is that this plate that goes on the back, this backing plate, will have a threaded hole in it, and there'll be a small knurled screw of some kind that will go through the back plate and press onto the metal pad. Okay, now the hole is still empty, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble everything here, and then I'm going to press RTV sealant in from this end, and so that the sealant comes out from this side, from this top end hole, and when I screw the hand screw, it will push on the metal pad and will move forward and compress the silicon, and push the Delrin, the little Delrin pad that's going to be at the top of this here, up inside the bore of the index ring, and it will lock it. And the idea is that the silicone will allow you to just nip, instead of putting a lot of force with solid rods or whatever, so that it doesn't distort the index ring, but will lock it. And once it's just nipped up, it will lock the ring, and of course the ring will turn, and as long as you don't move it like that, it'll stay in the same position, and you'll still get back to your zero again. So that's the whole idea of it. What I've got at the moment, I don't have the back plate, so what I've been doing at the moment is to just place that on there, and just using that as a locking pad at the moment, if you can imagine it. That will go in there just like that, and then just put this down, and then this will be, if I drop this I'll never find it again. So it's beginning to look pretty good. Let's just get this in. So if you can imagine that, of course, all this has to be locked up. So even this central ball, I may have to put a slot in it and put a corresponding slot in the shaft so that when it goes on, it locks onto the shaft and it's not just held on by the button screw. So there's still some work to be done, but as you can see, I think it's going to work very well. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, on this back part here, I'm going to mill a round hole that breaks out on this metal face here, so that when the plug goes in, I can remove the part of the plug so that it's in line with this metal face of this piece, and then I'll inscribe or engrave a I think it's a fiducial line they call it, just a line in the Delrin, and I'll also colour that line with red nail varnish, and that will be my index mark for zeroing, and that will stay constant all the time unless I take the ring off and it somehow goes back so that the line is over here. But that really doesn't matter too much. Of course it would be nice to have it right on the center line of that diameter, so that's part of the idea that that I have in completing this, and this will just move around nice and smoothly, and there'll be a little knurled screw. Of course it won't be as wide as that, it'll be just a thin, maybe, I don't know, 1/8, 3/16 thick, and be about the same diameter as this, or the same diameter as that, and so it'll all be working as a complete system. So you can see it's going to be quite nice. I think it's going to look pretty good, and it's going to be workable. Okay, so I think that's that for now. I'll continue on later as I finish off the other parts and get it finally completed. So thanks very much for viewing my videos, and make a comment if you feel like it. So I'll call off now. Thank you.